And so we'll bring you more on this development shortly, but let me take you to Odododiodio for some development on election-related matters. Members of the NDC in the Odododiodio constituency who involved themselves in the violent activities ahead of elections will be handed over to the police. Now, Member of Parliament for the constituency, Nilante Vanderpoel, is committing himself to peace ahead of this year's crucial elections. He is also urging the police to be impartial and professional in the discharge of their duties ahead of this year's polls. Nilante Vanderpoel spoke at an event organized by the National Small Arms Commission to commit various political actors to peace. My colleague Kweku Asante joins us on the line with more on this. Kweku, tell us about what the Member of Parliament for the Odododiodio has been saying. Beyond asking the police to be impartial, what is his message of peace to his constituents? Kweku Asante, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so the Member of Parliament for the Odododiodio has been speaking at this event organized by the Small Arms Commission. He's asked the police to be impartial. He is committing himself to peace, but what has he been telling his constituents?
Well, so the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Odododiodio constituency, Honorable Nilante Vanderpoel, has been saying that on his part, he will ensure that there is peace before, during, and after the election. According to him, some of the violence that, we've all witnessed in this constituency is not something that he has been a party to. He's not called any violence, and that he's warning the supporters in the constituency that if any of them engage themselves in activities that lend themselves to violence, then they are going to hand all of them to the police. As well, he's been urging the police to be professional. Of course, the NDC has been accusing the police in some areas of the country, and even with this Odododiodio, that they have been favoring supporters of the NPP. They have not been arresting them, and they've been applying the law selectively. So Nilante Vanderpoel has been urging the police to be firm, to be professional in their duties, and ensure that for both sides of any conflict, they would ensure that whoever is culpable without their political colors must be dealt with.
And on the bit about handing over those involved in the violent clashes witnessed 2 weeks ago in his constituency, did he say that he has already handed them over, identified them? What exactly are his words?
Well, so Nilante Vanderpoel actually has been saying that if he's going to hand over those who do things going ahead, he did not commit to the violence that happened a few days ago. And actually, a bit of a context will matter because he has actually been saying that the NDC has actually been the victims. They have been the victims of this conflict. And so they have no one to hand over to the police because they were rather brutalized by supporters of the NPP. And so that is what he's been saying previously. But he has been assuring that going forward, any violence of situation that happens that have NDC supporters as partakers will be handed over to the police. But those violence that happened a few days ago, he's been saying that they are rather the victims of that situation and have no one to hand over.
Tell us about the remarks of the Small Arms Commission at this event. Well,
so the Small Arms Commission is saying that they would rather that people use political leadership and dialogue to settle their disputes whenever they occur in the lead up to the general election. And as you will recall, that there have been several instances of clashes between supporters of the NDP and NDC across the country. And so the Small Arms Commission is saying that it is not appropriate to use arms, to use violence, to settle political differences. And so they are urging political actors in the country to be able to bring their supporters on board to settle their disputes through dialogue. And they are saying they are not going to just leave this situation here to the Odododiodio. They are going to go to every other constituency that has been listed as a hotspot and bring the political actors on board to commit to peace ahead of the election.
That's my colleague Kweku Asante, who was at an event organized by the Small Arms Commission. They engaged the Member of Parliament for Odododiodio and indeed executives of the NDC in that constituency who are committing to peace ahead of the December polls. We'll be following that and their subsequent interactions in the other flashpoint, and we'll bring you up to speed here on your JoyNews channel.